What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyt, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Skady. His opponent today in the red color, sticking with the Hades. His name is Player. The map is Tundra. It's currently 2-1 in this marathon series here. Best of 9 for Skady, taking that second game with some decisive Poseidon, deciding that it was so decisive, in fact, that he would change his gods up and pick Oranos here. Oranos, the god which does things well a lot of the time, especially on a map like Tundra. I do find that Hades has a couple of options here against Oranos, which I don't think have been explored enough in depth. They have been explored with Poseidon, so say the Ares rush with Poseidon, but with Hades, I feel like Hades has a slight edge over Poseidon in the early game Ares rush because you have Chiron. Chiron has the 5.0 speed, so you're going to be able to get that Chiron into your opponent's base significantly fast. You're going to be able to use that Chiron to find raids and hit the different gold mines and stuff when your opponent moves over to them and all that other stuff here. But we'll see what Player's going to go for. He's got 3 villagers on wood, so it does not indicate a crazy fast advance time. Someone says Poseidon will up faster, but that's just not true. All you need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 caribou in your base, and you can advance it 4 minutes and 15 seconds, guaranteed every single time. If you only subscribe on the YouTubes now for the very low price of free, you can watch my my 4:15 advance time build on the YouTubes when it comes out, if it ever does. But it is very similar to the other build that I've already thrown up there. Anyways, onwards and upwards. Skady here, doing his thing. Well, let's just TSM Player. We'll see what Skady's doing. Is Skady advancing yet? Obviously not. It's because he needs to get more villagers out. He's got his house up, and he's medium gold mine here, doing his thing. Villagers over here, villagers over here, villagers over here. He's actually spreading them quite nicely. I don't know if I like it, because if CSM Player goes for an early Ajax, you're kind of guessing which hunt that he's going to go to. And if he guesses right, there's not going to be a mana there.
Scopos?
There is not going to be a mana there. But relics are on the map, so let's look at those. We've got the Tower of Cestus, which gives us a bonus damage for the towers, which is always nice and fine and dandy. We've also got the Khopesh of Horus here. This relic is really, really big for Hades in this matchup, because oftentimes this matchup comes down to the damage that Prometheans can deal and soak up when the heroes get sniped or picked off, or even not, in big fights and stuff like that. So grabbing that Khopesh of Horus can be huge. And not only that, it's also good for the Oranos player, because then he can pick off the Nemean Lions or the what are they called? Anyone else know what they're called? Nemean Lions, Minotaur, Cyclops, Colossus, Chimera. They're all there. Anyways, Player gathering resources forward. He's going for a very late advance time here against Atlantean, which is generally very, very bad. It's going to be just sub 5 minutes, but that's going to be greeted by Skady, who's already going for the 4:30 here, completely standard. Where are his oracles? He's got forward oracles here, so he's scouting for the hunt, but he won't find it because it is. Well, he has actually found it. I'm surprised to see that Skady doesn't go for the oracle aggression here, but I love what Skady's done here. He's left his back hunt. He's left his back hunt here, which means that he's going to be able to move back onto that and gather it and play nice and defensively in his base. But that being said, it's going to be difficult. This isn't really in his base at all, so Maybe I take it all back. Maybe he should have left his caribou here and gathered from his side hunt here first, but he hasn't done it. Skady throwing up military barracks, counter barracks in his base. No surprises there, but the Ajax comes in, hitting this citizen, and well, like I said, that forces the villager off here. The caribou going for some path blockage here. But
Herr Joes?
must manage to get away no problem. So it is a little bit of delayed income here while the Murmillo and the Terma come out. I'd love to see you get some early jabs onto the units as they come out here for the Ajax, because that means that when the Valor comes down, it's going to be a little bit less strong, but that doesn't happen here. There's the mana coming up for Skady. There we go. Turning around gets that damage in now. Just a little bit, but now the third unit comes in. Valor comes in. H retreat. Nice play from player here for sure in order to do that. Now the Promethean Offspring coming in. They do find the villagers over here, but Chiron is on the case. It's going to pick these ones off very fast. These villagers should survive very easily. Those Prometheans go down with very little value indeed, except for the fact that the Chiron is sitting in the base currently instead of being aggressive. What are the military buildings? Stable military academy for player, so no craziness here at all. And the thing about the Hoplite Hippocon Greek build that you do against we'll see the Ajax getting sniped here, but the thing about the stable military academy build against Atlantean is that technically you can produce at exactly the same speed as the Oranos player. The problem is what is the problem? The problem is you rarely ever manage to macro it correctly, to be honest, because it's currently 44 population to 63 population for TSM players. So obviously quite a bit behind. Oh, we're seeing the Minotaur get sniped here. Nice play from Skady in order to get that one. And the Shockwave comes down, able to finish this Minotaur off. Absolutely huge. And in that moment, Skady decides to retreat away. He's also holding this this Tower of Cestus relic, just goading at this point. You see the mana on this location. The Chiron getting some hits onto this one. No units sending over there, so that's a nice use of the Chiron for the time being. But these are units from Skady going to be sniping some stuff here. Meanwhile, player's really, really good at these fights here. Always taking fights which look like he should be losing, but he always micros them really, really well. Tries to snipe the heroes down and those Terma while kiting around the Murmillo. Incredibly smart here, as the Terma basically all fall. The Hoplites able to chase down these Murmillo completely fine. They trade effectively, evenly or equally against the Murmillo, so totally fine, while the Hippocon can chase everything down, feel real good about themselves. And there is still a restoration for player while Skady is down a Shockwave. So when the next Shockwave comes in, we may see the restoration, but it's looking like Skady somehow, he's actually completely decimated player's army here. And if we check out player's population, it's currently 80 population for Skady. Player's at half his population right now. And I'll tell you why he's at half his population. One, he was fighting this fight, which looked okay for a little bit. But the more important thing is he's got 400 wood in the bank, 200 gold in the bank. He's going for pure wood-based units. And this means that he has not been producing quite efficiently from these two buildings. As you can see, a lot of 0% idle time in these buildings. And that means that because Skady's been macroing very, very well here, producing these units in the right order at the right time, he's going to have a big advantage right now. We do see that the archery range is now up, going into more of a 1-1-1, which does give the Terma a lot of value, a lot of avenue for value at the very least to take down those Toxotes and such. Do see some villagers desperately trying to hold on to this temple, but the temple does fall. There's the Zom by player. Probably should have put that down a little bit earlier. Now losing a house as well before potentially Skady wants to pull back. Is Skady going for second town centers now? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He cuts the units a little bit as well. I wonder if he goes for an immediate third town center here as well, or keeps producing units. He's so far in front right now. So very, very far in front. that he probably can. Or he's going to throw up a house over here to make sure he's deleted his home house. He's not producing any more
Burek.
units. We just see the catascopus is here. Does he move the house? No. Let's see where he's building. Maybe up here on these villages. Oh, in the middle of the map. Okay, there he goes. Fair enough. And now he has resources for that next town center as well if he wants to get it. We do see that the army of TSM players making his way over onto this town center. Where is Skady's army? The big thing is Skady's army very fast. It's moving currently at 4.95 speed, whereas the player army is moving at 4.2 speed. So the Oranos will be able to come over here and help defend against this fairly easily. We'll see which way he wants to go. We just see that the Oracle gets deleted there. But these units just chilling on the Orok do make a detour back to the town center to make sure it comes up. See the Termite trying to tug down the Toxotes. Nice micro from player to pull them back, and that's going to allow the Hoplites to jump onto them. Skady maybe overcommitting onto these Toxotes. There's a very low HP one. There's the restoration from player in order to continue in this fight very, very nicely. We do see all the Toxotes do fall here. Nice play from Skady. The town center comes up. The hero Murmillo are here in this fight, so they're going to be getting a lot of extra damage in, and it's looking like TSM players' army just not strong enough to win this fight right now. The Murmillo just tanking everything while the Terma very, very nicely kiting all around, not taking too much damage. You do see the player sacrificing his units in the end here to try and take down these Terma, but it's not going to be enough to slow down player at all. The gold mine here in the base of TSM player is starting to look very, very grim indeed, with only 500 gold left here. Even if player gets full population here with this second town center, which he does manage to get up, securing a second gold mine is going to be difficult, especially with the impending chaos that is going to be coming at Skady's face very, very soon here. And now Skady makes his move into TSM player's base, pushing off this food yet again, taking an eye on this gold mine. Nice shockwave here onto these villagers. Going to get a lot of villager kills here. As they do fall, or almost all fall. It's looking like Skady going to be retreating here. At this point, does pick off the Chiron. But do we see a heroic age just yet? Not just yet, but it's going to be very soon. If I was Skady, I'd cancel the next villager and try and advance here. It doesn't look like he wants to. He might cancel it now, but I don't know. Like he doesn't want to. So we'll get up just after the next villager. So roughly 13 minutes. There's the armory up. Oh, he's just run out of food somewhere.
Yuji?
Oh no, he's left the Arctic wolf. But there's the advance time through Hyperion, and now Hyperion's coming through. That hurts player a ton here. Yes, there's probably not going to be any myth units to grab, but it doesn't matter because his units are very, very weak here. We just see the villagers moving over onto this location. Even some Prometheans coming out for Skady, but he needs to be sort of holding on to that favor for Satyr. Plus the Satyr upgrade, which gives extra special attack damage. Throw an extra couple of javelins there. Now we do see the army moving down to the bottom corner of this map. Villagers moving up to this location here. Skady doesn't have any view of that one there. But the Prometheans here tanking enough damage here to allow the citizens to retreat away. Meanwhile, the Termites staying over on this food situation here. Just a couple more, 6 coming back over. While the rest of the army from Skady coming over here to try and pick off these units, which have hurt Skady's economy just a little bit here. There's the Hyperion. I wouldn't be surprised to see immediate chaos here. Oh, gets unlucky there to hit the Toxotes, but player will retreat away from this. But these Hippocons were very, very lucky to say the very least here, because they're able to take some more of this army down. Meanwhile, the Chaos units kind of just chase this army down, and Skady can chase it down as well before the Hippocon decide to turn around and start fighting the blue units here. But here's the question. Does Skady even know about this gold mine? He does know about this gold mine, but he hasn't checked it just yet. We does see that this gold mine isn't being grabbed. He's seen that this gold mine isn't being grabbed. Will Skady put 2 and 2 together to check this gold mine or not? And he is moving. Oh, he's not moving up there. Meanwhile, player's army is starting to look fairly fierce here. 105 population. This is going to be difficult for Skady indeed. But the question is, what does Skady do? Sometimes we see Atlantean players build the satyr. It's not happening. Sometimes we see Atlantean players build the palace. It is happening. Does he have a market? Sometimes we see Atlantean players just go straight for the immediate Tartarian gate, get that guaranteed value out of it early game instead of potentially a little bit later. But the palace comes up. We'll be able to help defend this location while his turn do raid. Meanwhile, TSM player is seeing his time to strike here. The Satyr in the back, not targeting down the right units here because he's not used his special. Meanwhile, the Cairo in the back, enough to snipe that Satyr there. Military barracks coming down. We do see the destroyers coming down. We don't have more. We've only got 2 barracks here. Normally when you go to the heroic cage as Oranos, you want to throw down a couple more barracks, get up to 5 or 6 barracks so you can start making Arcus. But meanwhile, looks like TSM player feels like he needs to fight under this palace at this point, but it's really not a good idea because of the damage that it does here. And it does look like players going to be retreating. We're able to snipe a couple of these Toxotes. Nope, does not do so. All the military barracks going up. How's the economic upgrades for Skady? Fairly decent with the fully upgraded gold there. TSM player, on the other hand, probably only has hand axe, plow, and pickaxe. No husbandry. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. That's why his food's so low. It's funny, whenever I see upgrades missing, I always notice that the resource that it's missing from always very, very low. I wonder why that is. Third town center going up for Skady. I'm really not sure that Skady knew what to do here. He's kind of doing what Oranos players do. It's kind of just function as Oranos players. He's raiding down here nicely, but just never touching this gold mine, never going for it. Not going for an early Mythic Age either. And he's kind of handing this game back into TSM players' hands. Because TSM player now has 3 town centers. He's got a decent army here. And he's probably going to be able to hit to the Heroic Age fairly soon. So Skady basically has to hit a Mythic Age timing push here to win, because if he doesn't, then the Hades late game, or even like the early Mythic Age, if Hades can just get to the Mythic Age, he's probably going to be in a decent enough place just to win the game. And that's basically what players are hanging around in this game for. He's just banking on the fact that Skady's not going to be able to end the game here.
Skopos?
We do see that Hecate is coming down with the 3rd town center on the way. Meanwhile, player still not able to advance here. This is a problem. If you haven't clicked advance before by about 30% Oranos or Atlantean Mythic Age, it's going to become very difficult for you to click advance later. So once the Tartarian gate comes down, it's going to be tough. How do you defend against the Tartarian gate plus the army? And here's the problem that may come rise here as well from player. He has secured this gold mine to some degree, but he's going to run out of it. And I don't think he can secure another one very easily at all. Meanwhile, the Toxotes in the back doing a lot of damage. Does have the shades here, but Chaos comes down to help out quite a bit for Skady here. And the Arcus just launch arrows from so far away. More Satyr coming in for Skady. He's actually pumping them out, which is a little bit surprising. When I do think that Lampades are an underappreciated unit. They deal good damage and they basically turn a unit onto your opponent with their special. They're building a lot of Lampades. Can be very good. But I guess Satyr can destroy a lot of units with their special if you marker them well. You want to try and hit the Toxote ball in the back. Forward Palace coming down now for Skady. Might be transitioning into some Fire Siphon Arcus here. Very difficult to defend against. And is TSM play going to the next stage? No, he's not. Ajax coming through. We see the Tartarian gate on the back town center. All the villagers get pulled off onto this Tartarian gate. We don't have Masons for Skady just yet. And it is coming through, so it will help out a little bit if this Tartarian gate doesn't go down immediately. It's looking like it may actually go down before the Masons come through. No, I tell a lie. Masons will be for sure. But this will go down, and TSM player needs to get out some heroes to clean up the Tartarian spawns. It does lose quite a few villagers here to this god power, and now Skady's got a huge advantage here. He's already got the Fire Siphons pumping out. Still building destroyers though for some reason. Yes, the destroyers tank nicely, but You need that population space. Arcus destroyers is Arcus fire siphon. All you need at this point. Make some towers as well, just to guarantee you can make this push. But throwing up a second palace on this front, probably if you're not thinking of building fanatics at this point, it's probably better to just throw up the towers, I guess. But especially because you've got that relic, right? Doesn't work on the palaces, does it? Oh, he doesn't have the relic. I tell a lie. Must have placed the Tower of Cestus down over here. Yes, he did. Okay, good. That next palace coming up, and this is going to allow Skady to just have a real strong foothold on this position. And now at this point, Skydy's just so far behind on the resources. These Tartarian spawns may even take down this town center as well, as they have such high armor plus such high HP. 40% armor plus 350 HP takes a long time for the town center to kill. And there is the tap out from player. Just not able to get to the heroic edge. And I do think that this basically all came down to him not getting there, all came down to him not having husbandry. Because that would have given him the extra resources to click advance time about 2 minutes earlier than now. He would have had the food. He had the gold for sure. Then he clicks advance, has the curse here in order to slow down that second chaos, help him defend, maybe prevent the palace from going up as well. Then the Tartarian gates comes down. You come in, you pick this off, you send your heroes in to defend here, and then maybe, just maybe, you can survive for long enough to get to the Mythic Age itself. But nice play from Skady here, showing a very, very nice heroic edge timing push with the palace, with the fire siphon, with the Arcus and everything else. And Skady goes up 3 wins here in this best of 9. You only have to get to 5 wins here, so 2 more for Skady, and he will take this this series here. But if you're enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.